Our main man, NFL legend, our main man, Shawne Merriman, is here, tapping in. Shaun, just tell this cat you don't know him.
That's my dog. What's up, boy?
What's going on, my guy? It's been too long. How you doing?
I'm good, man. How are you?
I'm great, man. It's good to see you, man. You looking good, man. I see you still staying in that gym.
You know it, man. That's one of the things about me, man. I'm gonna be a musclehead for life, for sure.
You and me both, man. I'm trying to get JB to stop drinking so much, get in that gym, do some workouts. But
well, I mean, shit, you can do both, right?
Yeah, you can do both, but he does one side.
Hey, Shaun, I'm a specimen. See, Smitty's 5'8". There's a big fucking difference. You know what I'm saying? I'm 6'3". Come on, dog. Shaun's not 5'8" like you, Smitty. There's a big difference, dog. So I'm just throwing that out there. So I don't know. Marcellus say what's up, man. I can't thank you enough for hopping on here, man. Let me ask you something real quick. I ask everybody, especially the old school cats like us, what's the biggest difference you see right now in the NFL from when we played?
You know what I mean? The obvious answer, somebody gonna come out and say that people are soft, right? Like it's softer now. But tell you the truth, they're soft because of the rules are making, you know what I mean? They're stopping their level of play. So they're really just playing within the rules, man. So I can't get on that whole train and sound like the old school cat and tell everybody, the game is soft now, they're soft. I think that just rules in place. These guys can't go out there. Like, no way in hell I'm going to be able to play nowadays, right? Just my mentality and the way I play. I can't get out there and do what these guys doing now. It's too many rules.
No question.
Yeah, that's a good point, because I was going to ask you that, too, before you came on. I was going to say, like, man, like, if you could, reverse time or whatever and say you were coming out of college, getting drafted tomorrow, like, what adjustments would you have had to make to your game to just even be able to play today? Because I don't everything you did was a collision.
Yeah, it's different, man. I think my mentality would change as a player, would take a little bit out of the fun. Because I think, man, like when we came up, we were applauded for knocking people out. Like that was the whole goal of being out there. Like now it's frowned upon, or any kind of helmet to helmet contact, or just going in. If you hit a quarterback above the shoulder pads or below it, it's just way too much thinking for me. And so I think a lot of my passion for the game would have just left.
No doubt. I got to ask you something right out the gate, just as a former coach and knowing how the coaching world operates and then going from player to coach. You believe that Marty got a cold end of the stick on that 14-2 season in 2006 when you guys lose to New England or whatever? And I know AJ Smith was there as a GM. 14-2 and gets the hook. I think he's one of 8 coaches in NFL history to have 200 fucking wins, and I don't believe he's in the Hall of Fame yet. Listen, I know guys that played for him, and you did. What's your take on that shit right there? 14-2, man. I don't know if that gets fired nowadays, does it?
I'm like, when it happened, the world was the same way we were in the building. Like we was like we like what in the hell's going on? We were all caught off guard. But what it really came down to is just him and you name it, him and AJ Smith, man. They just really didn't get along. But it was shocked because we never seen it. We never seen a 14-2 coach ever get fired, and so. Just how everybody else outside the building was like, how in the hell? We're sitting around looking like, how in the hell? Because we didn't see anything. Nobody saw that coming. Right. But everybody knew that AJ Smith and Marty, they clashed a lot. So that was a personal deal. It wasn't anything business related.
Now, so we brought that up. Talk about that 14-2 team, man. Like, as you look back, like how good really was that team, man?
The crazy part about it, man, is the practices were harder. Like it was harder in practice because I had to see, Marcus McNeil, I had to see Gates, I had to see Lorenzo Neal. Dude, how stacked we were, bro. Like Darren Sproles was like the third string running back. Think about that for a minute. You get what I'm saying? So if you really think about it, Darren Sproles can be up for the Hall of Fame here for his all-purpose yards, and he got the numbers, and so that was our third string running back, and so. You look at how this team was built, bro. We were just built different. I don't think it's and the problem is we're never gonna get like, they have all these decade teams and everybody talk about, like, we're never gonna get that notoriety as being the best team in a decade because we didn't win a Super Bowl. And that's really what it came down to.
It's so unfortunate. And people don't understand like how hard it is to win a Super Bowl. Like, there's only one, I always tell JB, it's only one team that does it every year. That doesn't discount the amazing wins and success that team had all year long. If you make it to the divisional round of playoffs or AFC Championship, obviously the ultimate goal is to win it all. but it's like you can still look back and be like, man, like we did a lot of good shit during that run. Let me ask you this though: what was it that you think kept you guys from winning it all?
I think also, not being able to adjust. You get what I'm saying? Like we were always the better team on the field. But like the Patriots had our number. They would come out, no matter how we played them in the first half, they'd readjust and start punching holes in whatever we're doing wrong, start capitalizing on every mistake we had. I think in a way we got outplayed because they were smarter, and then we got outcoached, and so, I keep telling everybody now, I said, to get to the Super Bowl in my time, you got to first get through Ben Roethlisberger. That's one.
Yep.
Then you got to get through Peyton Manning. And by the way, you get through those two, then you got to see the final boss of Tom Brady. You get what I'm saying? So to get there, and that's overlooking like the, ones like Steve McNair, like all the quarterbacks around that time in the AFC who you just had to go through in order to get there in the first place.
Damn, that's a good point. It was loaded, JB.
That's what I'm saying, Smitty, but you don't believe me. But anyway, the quarterback play now, in my opinion, quarterback play and overall, as much as talented as they are, as freakish as we've become athletically in all positions, but quarterback has been the worst in my era. Like I've seen the quarterback position become so athletic and gifted and all this. And that's why I blame coaches. I think we failed the quarterback position over the last 10 years or so, from college, high school, and on. But like going through the gauntlet, like you just said, I don't know if there's even close to going through the same deal now. That's why we're getting rid of these quarterbacks for string cheese and Chico sticks. Like we're getting rid of Justin Fields in Chicago for nothing. And then we're getting rid of all these different guys. And now I'm seeing veterans being signed this late, like up to a couple weeks ago in Cleveland, going back and getting Flacco. That tells me that they know that the draft is probably not where the savior's coming from at the quarterback spot. Am I tripping?
No, that's exactly right, man. I'll take it another step further. They're just not developing these guys anymore, right? Yeah. So if you're not coming from college and you can't get on the field day one and have some success day one, they're not going to waste their time because coaches are always in the hot seat now. It's not like, you can have a coach there 5 and 10 plus years. Like you don't win in that first season, you automatically could be out. How many coaches got fired last year over the last couple of years, their first season, and so they're not developing guys anymore because they're like, if we don't get this right, we're going to be fired. And so what that point is, if you're not NFL ready to step on the field right away and produce, they ain't got no time for you. And that's where the game is going to get set back, man, because they're not developing any of these young guys anymore. They're throwing them on the field or not.
Man, yeah, that's a hell of a point, man. It's staying, I guess, in the college world, man. This NIL stuff and this transfer portal has been insane. I mean, we're seeing guys go to 7, 8, 9 different schools like within like 2 year span. But kind of focusing more so on the NIL side. You've done a hell of a job of branding yourself, and the Lights Out brand has turned into so many different like businesses and avenues for you. If you played in the NIL like era, I guess how much money do you think you would have made, man? I'm just thinking about like how you flipped this Lights Out thing and like how big of a brand has become. If you had that now, like the numbers would be crazy, in my opinion.
Yeah, man. It's a different ball game. I think about it sometime too. I look back and like, having a trademark, because I trademarked the name back when I was, 20. I just turned 21 years old. So being called that when you were 16 and then getting into college and those NILs are possible. Like it's a game changer. But I just think, look, I always say the guys should get paid. Like that was always something that had to happen. They should have been compensated. I think they should have been compensated at least a couple $1,000s a month. Everybody on the team. And then the bigger name guys can go do signings. I thought that should have been bare minimum. But now, man, it's the Wild Wild West, where a lot of these kids coming up, people get mad at Nick Saban and whoever they want to, but he saw it coming. Nick Saban saw it coming. Like, how are you going to have a 17, 18-year-old kid sitting across from you talking about, I'm not going to come here unless you give me $1 million? Well, he hasn't done anything. I mean, how many times did everybody came out on this hype? All right, the best player from high school, you got your top 100 in the country. Half these guys, you never hear about them again in college, or more than half. Then the top guys in college, half them you don't even hear about them in the NFL no more, right? And so again, if you're sitting around sitting across from a 17, 18-year-old kid, and they're saying they're not going to do something unless they get a certain amount of money, well, we don't know. We don't know what's going to happen. And then business about to start getting trade business. You know, these kids aren't going to be able to take this money and just get up and leave anymore. So it's going to change here soon with the NILs. I think something going to be put in place.
Shaun, so being a West Coast guy, I know you're an East Coast guy. Shit, I recruited Douglas. I recruited all those high schools for years and years. Some dudes came out of that whole DMV area. Let me ask you, being an LA guy, obviously you played in San Diego. Does San Diego deserve a team? Like, why don't they have an NFL franchise? I think it's crazy. They're one of the biggest cities in America still. At the end of the day, they should have one. Did they fuck up by moving to LA?
I don't think they messed up, man. I think that and by the way, you know, I was one of the ones kind of put on this panel to keep the team there. I mean, all of us, we wanted a team there, but just knowing how it was going, they were so far apart on a real agreement. I would say probably the second or third week I was around that whole deal, I knew they were leaving. It was like no way that they were just too far apart. Does San Diego need a team? Yes. I still think San Diego could handle a team, and I think it's going to come, you know, back around when they add a different franchise. I think we're going to have a franchise in Europe or a franchise in, you know, Mexico City, somewhere in another country. I think there's going to be another franchise or somebody here from the States, like Jacksonville. Somebody can move. I see it coming. San Diego is too nice of a city, man, not to have a team. And matter of fact, multiple sports teams.
Yeah,
right.
No doubt. Is Vegas becoming the new San Diego? Like, as far as like getting you know, they're probably going to get an NBA team. They got a baseball. You bring the Raiders. I know you got a lot of transplant fans because the Raiders' whole fan base is probably transplant in Vegas. But like, Vegas is an entertainment capital. But like, do you see sports winning there, like being successful there in that type of environment? And then is San Diego, is that what it used to be? I thought. You know,
I always say San Diego is Vegas up north, man. Because I live here in Vegas, but you know, I come across so many people from San Diego and SoCal in general. But yeah, man, I was at a Golden Knights game the other day. You know, I go to about 5 or 6 Golden Knights games a year, and they flip this city upside down. And when a basketball team gets here, it's going to be game over.
Yeah, no question.
Yeah.
No question.
Sure. It's funny you live in Vegas because I follow you on social, and I feel like I don't know if you still do it as much, but you and Raiders fans got an interesting like relationship online, man. You always trolling the Raiders fans. I feel like, right?
I still do. They forever a hatred of mine, but no, it's different now, man. Like I still like being around the fans and you know, going back and forth with them. I was at STK a couple of days ago eating, and it was I could just tell that it was a bunch of Raider fans walked in the door right next. I just felt that they were looking at me. It was like 6 of them or 5 or 6 of them at the table next door.
Yeah,
and they said somebody there yelled out that they wanted onion rings, right? And I started thinking in my head, I'm like, hold on, STK I don't think they got onion rings. The guy was being funny. Rings. I wanted rings because, you know, we would make fun of us about not having a ring. I looked over there, man. I was just down. I just thought the shit was funny, to be honest. It was funny as hell. Caught me on guard. But again, man, you know, going back to San Diego, I just would be. It just wouldn't make any sense if they didn't have a team there. The city's too nice. We had Qualcomm rocking down there, so they got a fan base. I was just at the San Diego FC game a few weeks ago. And so yeah, man,
cracks,
yeah,
packed, yeah. They probably need NBA again too. Like the Clippers started there, but they probably got to get back to NBA too. I'm hearing that too. Seattle and San Diego for NBA, addition. So we'll see. Let me ask you something. You come out of Maryland, you're NFL Rookie of the Year. How as far as your career goes, like you didn't get the ultimate prize, the Super Bowl, but is the Rookie of the Year, does that trump like Pro Bowls?
You know what, man? How can I say this without sounding like an asshole?
You can say it.
You know, for me, man, I had so much expectation for myself. Like when I came in, I felt like I should have been a number 1 draft pick. You get what I'm saying? Like I had that. I felt that way. So it wasn't that. I think going out to the Pro Bowl my rookie year, because I think it was only me and Lofa the Tupu or something. It was only one other rookie who made the Pro Bowl that year. So going down there, seeing all the older guys, man, like looking around, seeing Peyton kick it by the pool, and just, I've never been in an environment before. So I think that was probably my best one. And then, being Defensive Player of the Year runner-up, multiple years too, man. So.
Interesting. Yeah, I can see that. You're going to see all the OGs and you're a youngster and you're like, oh, shit, they might trump me being the Rookie of the Year. So I get it. Yeah, we had local.
Yeah, especially when the hotel bills come around. Shit, back then, you could never say your hotel room out loud because as soon as you did, they were going to stick you with a massive bill.
I heard about that. Okay, so I'm glad you brought that up. Did you get got like as a rookie?
Yeah, I almost did. And then, the waitress was going around because I got everybody around the drinks, and she was going around, said, sir, what's your room number? Right as I'm saying it, Ray Lewis kicked me under the table. Ray kicked me. And so I didn't get my whole room out. Look, I still had charges on it at the end of the day when I got done anyway, but it was nowhere near what it could have been if I'd screamed my room out loud.
JB, real quick, only because we're on this topic of crazy bills. I've heard the story before, but the fans ain't probably never heard it. Can you share your rookie dinner experience and the number that you spent?
Yeah, man. The rookie dinner, you take out all the older guys. It's, I think, 3 or 4 years and up. So if you've been playing for 4 years, then you got to take, you got to take all the guys out. Yeah. So the first round picks are all the ways that, or your top pick is always the one that takes guys out. So we went to a place called Papa Moose Grill in Del Mar in San Diego.
Oh yeah,
and took all the guys out, had a good time. I ordered 3 bottles of this thing I didn't know at the time called Louis XIII. Had no idea what I was buying, and they asked me. They came back and grabbed me. They said, "Hey, Shaun, we need to see you in the back to pay the bill." And I was like, "Yeah, man, let's bring it to me so we can go and get up out of here." Right? He said, "No, I need to see you in the back." I said, "Man, come on, you guys joking around, man. Bring the bill so I can pay it and get on up out of here." He said, please come see us in the back. Man, I went in the back. That receipt dropped my foot like a CVS receipt, dude. They went all the way down. I picked it up, and that thing said $32,000 at the bottom of it, and I almost passed out. I mean, it was dude, I was sick. That's probably one of the sickest I've ever been at that time in my life for sure.
That's crazy.
Ah, damn. And this is like initiation shit.
Right.
Well, it was that. Plus, I didn't show up to camp, and I came in the door with lights out, persona, and it was a combination of a lot. But yeah, I was definitely wasn't good after that one.
That's crazy.
That's rough. Hey, well, who you got, Shaun? Right now, the draft's a day away. Obviously, Chargers. You there with the Bills? What do you see here in this draft? Like overall, do you see some big time trade possibility that's going to surprise everybody, especially in this QB market, or are you going to see something that's done with Harbaugh in LA now with the Chargers, or you see a big move being made here by anybody?
I think so, and I'll tell you this: my streaming service, Lights Out Sports TV. By the way, y'all can download that on any smart TV, iOS and Android. So this year we had the East West Shrine Bowl, where exclusive guys got practices, and so I'm sitting around watching practice, and Brian Dayball's down there, the GM for the Giants also is down there, and everybody from the Titans, and you would think the way they was like smothering Shador and how they were around him the whole time that he had to have been going to one of those 2 teams. But I think that I think he probably can end up at Cleveland. If Cleveland doesn't, I think Cleveland drafts Travis Hunter if he's there. If Tennessee don't take the bait, I think Shador's going right after him. It'll be 1 and 2 wherever they end up at.
So you agree, number 2, that 2 slot is going to be like the most critical spot this year, huh? It's going to be Abdul Carter, Travis Hunter. It's going to be some number 2, or Cleveland's in discussions of maybe even moving it.
Yeah, for sure. I can see the Saints hopping up possibly. To tell you the truth, man, it's so hard because it's not a clear-cut draft this year as far as like that one guy to just stand out more than everybody else.
Right.
And maybe Carter, because he's, and I hate saying this, but he's one of those generational guys that's going to come like Will Anderson did when he went after, like he's one of those guys that's going to get on the field. He's probably going to Defensive Rookie of the Year. He's that type of talent.
Yeah.
But then do you skip over having a quarterback if you don't have anybody there? So it's really going to come down to team need, man. But the way that Giants, in a way that Tennessee was all over Shador at the East West Shrine Bowl practices, man. I can't see him passing up both of them. I just can't. I can't see it.
So you think Cam goes first to Tennessee, and then you think Shador is going to go in that top 3-4 area or 5?
I think he's somewhere in the top 4 or top 5. But again, you could be looking at because the Patriots already they got a quarterback, right? So you can look at the Saints hopping up to that 4th pick or trading out with one of the first 4 or Bears got their guys. So you start looking at which one of these teams could jump up. I mean, is Tua going to be there long enough to stay healthy? Do the Dolphins jump up and try to get Shador or Cam? So there's going to be some movement in that top 4, top 5.
Yeah, that's everything I'm hearing. There are going to be some crazy trades that end up going down. So it's going to be interesting, man. I got to ask you real quick. I love to ask the football heads. I know we all grew up playing all sports. You got a favorite in this NBA thing?
Honestly, man, I want the Lakers and Luka and Bronny to win it. I just thought that was such a horrendous trade, and how you just stick a fork in that thing, man. You go out and win a championship after being let go and traded in that way. Yeah, I love stories like that, man. And OKC is good. They got a good squad this year, and yeah, man. I want Luka to go out and win it, just based on what happened. I've been there. I know that feeling. It's a sick feeling, especially when you don't know it's coming. You can't imagine, building your whole world and buying a house and doing all the things you're doing out there and how much you mean to that city for nobody even come and talk to you, just like you some guy. So, I'm rooting for them. I hope they win it.
Hey, I got to ask you, man, because we were talking about them Giants. Smitty and I follow the Lakers, obviously, here in L.A., but we're going to see if this Lakers can do it. But I want to go back to your take on the Giants real quick to wrap it up, and can't thank you enough.
Yeah.
You were part of that pick, the whole Eli Manning Rivers thing, right?
Yep.
Oh.
So, do you see – so how did that work? How did that go? That they used your pick at 12?
Yeah, so the Giants had that pick and they gave it up. Then, San Diego got Phillip, and then they got an extra pick, which the Giants then had used that extra pick for me. And, it's crazy, man. When I go to New York, and I got to go – I'm just there last week, and I'm going back this week. When I walk around New York, people still to this day bring that up, that I was supposed to be Giant. Still, even when I go now.
That's crazy.
Damn. So in my full question around about way – the Giants go get Russell Wilson, a Super Bowl champ, obviously at the other side of his career, and then you sign a Jameis Winston to a 2-year deal. Do you still think they're going to take a rookie then?
I think so. First of all, neither one of those guys are long-term answers. That's one. And two, one of them will get cut in camp, and whoever that rookie going to be is going to be the number 2, right? They're going to battle it out between Russ and Jameis. And if Russ is only on a 1-year deal, what does that mean, right? So, again, if you're planning on doing that, I like the whole development of the quarterback, man. I love the position that Penix is in down in Atlanta. Look at all the guys who had success. The torch was passed, during the midseason after the first year.
Yeah,
I just don't like the fact that young guys getting on the field early.
I'm with you. I think it's
Lamar, Mahomes, Aaron Rodgers. Going on, we're hurting, man. We're hurting that QB, dog. I'm telling you, bro. All the cats said know the deal, man. This ain't no. Everybody's an All-American at this level now. That's why I'm saying. That's why I want to see Travis and do all the things. That's why this two-way stuff is going to be an interesting thing. But man, Shaun, I can't thank you enough for hopping on here, brother. For sure.
Make sure you follow the ticker on below and follow Lights Out and everything Shaun's doing. And, man, we'll hopefully get you on again, brother, and see you soon.
Yeah. Anything you want to shout out before you hop off?
We got a big fight May 10th in Long Beach, California. Lights Out Extreme Fighting 24, man. We got 14 fights lined up. So get your tickets at lightsoutakcept.com.
At the convention center?
No, it's at Thunder Studios in Long Beach, right off of Santa Fe Ave.
Okay.
Yeah, we're going to be pretty much sold out, man. But this was a big deal because we're making an announcement here. We're signing about 10 plus guys from another organization, so it'll be big news here in a minute. So
Oh yeah, definitely. My boat's down there, man. I'm down there. I'm from that way, so I gotta come down and check you out.
Done deal. You got it, brother. Appreciate it.
Appreciate you, Shaun. Good seeing you, my guy.